Good morning, everyone. I'm outside for the first time in a couple of days, and I wanted you to come along with me as I survey the garden and the plants to see what's viable and what's not. So I'm going to turn you around. Okay, so I'm going to start you on the porch, and these are my flower containers that have nothing but soil in it, so I'm not stressed out about that. At least the soil gets moistened. Here is my lettuce in a bowl that pretty much is going to be kaput, so I'll start that over. Here is my tower with my lettuce and kale, spinach, Swiss chard, etc. Now, as you can see, I do have some really viable lettuce at the top, as well as some over here in different spots. I mean, I have growth still. Those are the roses. I have not taken them. I haven't uncovered them yet. I will do, because I do want to see how they're doing. I mean, they was protected as far as actually getting rained on. So we're gonna start out next. Where we're gonna go next? We're gonna go to the front, only because I know it's not much going on there. As you can see, I'm still walking on ice. This is our condition. This is in my yard. That's where the little horse and donkey at. Still snow. So these are the irises, which as of now, they're standing up, and they never not stood up. The one that was already blooming is kind of down a little bit, but these are perennials, and we just have to see how they bounce back. I'm going to go to the edge of my street, so just so you can see how everything is looking so far on my street. As things are melting, as you can see, that's a good thing. But you see the slush. So, yeah. This is how we're looking. Look at the Mr. Horse. Look how he's looking, guys. I have nothing for you today. This is my driveway. It is going to be a hot mess. I think I have one of the only driveways on my street that is mostly mud. And we have been waiting on this gravel now for probably 5 months, if not longer. Now we're going to go over inside the gate. You see my patio table still covered with snow and now ice. Let's see what we got going on here. Now I snagged the greenhouse, and of course, due to the fact that during lemon balm looks kind of bad. And remember, all of this is brassicas, so we just kind of have to wait to everything melt to see what it's going to look like. This one, so far, I mean, this is a collard. I mean, it don't look its best, but it do not look that bad. And again, we will have to see. And before the snow, I did have some carrots in this bed that was ready to harvest. Over here, oh my. I would love to just pull it up, but I'm going to leave it alone, let it melt itself. So, the celery looks like definitely needs to be trimmed all the way back. The fennel is gone. Even though the kohlrabi is full of snow back there, it actually, from this angle, doesn't look too bad. Look at the borage. the borage will definitely come out and restart it. And it grows pretty fast, so I'm not sweating it. This collard, I'm gonna try just to cut all the leaves off and see if it's gonna resprout anything. If not, that's okay. My goal is to start some more stuff. This is my little bed that I started. These are where my snap peas at. I'm actually gonna pull them out. Not pull them out, but pull the thing out from them. And this is how they're looking. I mean, I think under the circumstances, they don't look too bad. It could have been worse if I wouldn't have put this little thing on it. So far, that's the most green I see. I'm gonna sit this right here for right now. And we'll go back here. You see where the kale and collards and mustards right here. Actually, that curly kale don't look too bad. It's poking out a little bit. All of this brassicas. Some things look like iffy. My onions, I'm hoping and praying that they bounce back. I just planted them. And yeah. My water tower, guys, I'm not sure. Well, I know it's froze. And it'll be a while before that unthaw. But look at those collards. Not collards. Cauliflowers. And my broccoli. I know I'm going to be cutting a lot of stuff back. I'm going to be removing a lot of things because we may not have too much that's going to be viable. These carrots, I see some really, really good things in there, but who knows? This bucket here looks a lot better than this one, but, excuse me, I do still see a lot of green in each one. Things are melting. So we just have to see what happens afterwards. So guys, this for us, for at least for me, I'm in Waco, Central Texas. This was a good time for me to come out to see how everything looked after the fact. It was not nice. It was not pretty. It was not fun. This was not that event where you can say, hey, we're gonna go outside and have snowball fights and just enjoy a lazy day. I hear so much ice cracking and melting. You know, I'm so nervous and scary at the house next door. And I keep looking and thinking it's something moving over there. But that's a whole nother story. But guys, I just want to say that this event for me gave me a lot of confirmation on the things that I have been preparing or trying to prepare myself for, my family for. Just with the necessities, things to help you along the way when things go south. For the most part, I did do well. I was very frustrated, just like anyone else, when that power went out, when that water went out, because right now, those are things that we need, you know, to maintain in your home, to flush your commode, to wash yourself off with, to cook, to clean. And then the power just for the heat. I mean, when you're not technically an off-gridder, you need those things. And it wasn't so much of just losing them. You know, it was cold. So, I mean, I don't think in any situation anyone would be happy about losing power or their water. But it's the fact that someone else can control how you live. And just with a flip of a switch, they can cut those lights off. They can cut your water off, and it makes you think. So I told my husband, I say, this is what I wanted us to be ready for, stuff like this. And, going through that process, everybody think you're crazy, everybody think you're tripping, you're overdoing it, nothing's going to happen. But what I will say is, just for the things that I was able to, over time, collect, gather, buy, purchase, however you want to call it, those small things that I did get ahead of time, way before this was thought to happen, it did help us along our way. I'm assuming that's our trash man coming, because trust me, we need, everybody I think needs service with trash pickup. But, so forgive me for the noise. But I was going out last summer, I think it was, buying all my camping gear. And my husband, my babe, we don't need all this here. We don't need that. We don't need this. And I was telling him, yes, we do. And hold on. I'm going to walk in.
Oh, I know.
Hi, girls.
Hey, Donna.
What are y'all doing?
Playing.
You playing?
No.
Look like we have trash pickup, so I'm getting this extra bag and take it to the trash dump.
Today we didn't get our bag.
You didn't? I hope he's not at my can yet. Guys, I'm gonna try and make sure they got these extra 2 bags. So he dumped them. So thank you. So that was a blessing. He looked like he was gonna take off at first, guys, but I guess he see me with my camera. He didn't want to be caught on camera running off. So, and it wasn't intended for that purpose. It was just because I was talking to you guys. I hadn't cut you off. But back to the story. So he was like, we don't need all this. So why are you getting all this stuff? And I'm saying, babe, you never know when we're going to need this here. I said, anything can happen. We may have to leave our home. So with the tent, the canopy, the portable butane grill burner, just a lot of the little things that I was able to get, along the way. Of course, my seed collection is suitcase down, so wherever we go, that's going to. But I explained to him, I said, you never know what's going to happen. Now, certain things that's been on my list that I haven't gotten, best believe is on my agenda. So I will be, looking to do that. But it's just this kind of event and the way the event unfolded through the process of things going bad. It makes, if it haven't made anyone think to learn how to be more self-sufficient and sustainable for your family, then you're asking for more trouble, more turmoil. Because, again, even after the snow melt, we have a lot of cleanup to do. But you have to think about those that did not have that little bitty propane little burner, camping stove. You have to think about those that didn't have those extra blankets, or even that tent if they home was destroyed by a tree from the heavy snow. But I would tell you that coming out here, scouring and seeing how the garden is looking, although I know I'm going to lose a lot of things in it, I'm still proud because I know I can regrow my food. I know I have the skills to grow my food. And as silly to someone it may seem, those are the ones that's going to be knocking on your door asking if you have some celery because they did not prepare. They didn't even want to get their hands in one pot, not let alone a garden bed. As scary as I am of bugs, critters, I'm more worried about starving than them. Now, that don't mean me and bugs and critters are friends, because trust me, I'm going a whole different way if I see them. But just to know that when this snow melts, what is viable, I will have. And what is not viable, then I'll discard and drop another seed, It's just the way things happen. And for us that was semi-prepared, we did make it through. Maybe not in the way we wanted to, but we started somewhere and we collected. This is the time for stuff like this. This is the time that it's okay to be a hoarder. If it's survival stuff, if it's stuff that'll help you along the way, you may have to live out your car or your truck or your van, or those that is fortunate to have like an RV or Winnebago. But what else? How else can you survive? How else can you maintain that particular lifestyle? Because we've had great floods. We've had tornadoes. We've now had a freeze that hasn't happened in forever. You never know where Mother Nature is going to take us. Let alone, we still have that pandemic going on. And a lot of people are still unprepared, But I do want to say that through it all, just that little preparedness, I survived. Even though I was frustrated, even though I was uncomfortable, those are the things that made me say, hey, your checklist is not complete. And I will complete it. Also, it also woke my husband up on a lot of things that I had been discussing with him, and he really didn't understand the necessity of it. But this event really opened his eyes up on some things too. Now, not saying that he wouldn't have approved of me doing certain things. It's not about that. It was just he didn't understand. And when you don't understand something, you can't see. You can't have the eyes of excitement and the heart of joy and all that stuff. But he came back and said, "Babe, man, I'm glad you had some of the stuff that you had, because he used to say, why are you getting all these license? Why are you getting all this here? Why are you getting all that?" And I say, you never know, when we gonna need this, because being from Houston, you have to have a hurricane tote. I say tote, survival kit. You have to have everything that you think that you can possibly carry with you if you had to evacuate and go somewhere else. We had to do it many times. And this ice storm, winter storm, that's a whole different kind of storm that you're trying to prepare for. And it wasn't just in one city. This was like 47 states, pretty much. Some had it worse than the others. So but he now understands some of the requests that I said I wanted and wanted to get. And he's very on board now. My husband's very OCD, and just the fact that we had to go without water for 2.5 days. Oh no, he was going bananas, you know. So let alone the power. So it's a lot of things that I'm pretty sure that as time go by, within the near future, that we will be having without any arguments or disagreeing, which I'm happy because it's stuff I wanted. Stuff I not just wanted, but I felt like we needed as a family. So, but the first tool, one of the best tools that I think I've gotten through this process, and my journey started out totally different from a lot of people's, and all of ours do. But I started out gardening because of a health journey that I'm always on, number one, but I was on at the time, and I felt like it was so much feasible for me to create my own garden space. And the more I got into learning how to grow and doing my research, the more important it became to me as doing it as a lifestyle, as a family lifestyle, as a survival lifestyle, a necessity to help cut back expenses. Someone else said it, I'm pretty sure in their video, but just to know that I didn't have to go to the grocery store for certain things when everyone was in line. I didn't have to leave the safety of my home to try and go and make groceries. Now, mind you, I did do curbside before I left school prior to the storm coming in. I mean, I was willing to sacrifice whatever I had to, but I do know that we was going to need certain things. We had food already, but it was certain condiments and certain things that we was missing that would help us along the way if it got bad. Still didn't know it was going to get this bad, but the fact that I started learning how to grow my own food was a blessing, and it's very helpful. So I do know that even if I have to move somewhere, I got those seeds that I've collected, those seeds that I purchased, stored away. I don't care how old they get. I'm not throwing them away because you never know which one is going to be viable and which one is not. But that was one of the things that I was thankful for, that I feel like I prepared myself for. I'm also thankful that I started allowing myself not to be afraid to use certain tools. I don't know how to use all the tools, but I'm not too afraid to start messing with tools because I feel like I'm gonna get hurt. I'm not the best builder, but I'm not afraid to put that chainsaw, not the chainsaw, because I haven't used a chainsaw. That's my next goal. But that saw, the hand saw, and the circular saw, and the drills, and just the different tools that I hadn't used on a regular basis many years ago. I'm so happy that I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to have to do this here. I'm going to have to learn how, because what if my husband is not able to do this? I have to get out there and be able to do this. I'm already scared of bugs, at least I can assist him with something. So making those garden beds, that was a blessing for me, because at least that wasn't on the ground. It's just so much, buying the camping stuff, that was a blessing. Again, didn't foresee this particular incident happen, thinking about a whole different type of incident. But you have to get out of the modern day comfort zone, because the times that we're living in, and I never thought I would ever be one of the ones to have to say something like this, but we have to learn that back to our root style. It may not have been your mom or dad, but I'm almost certain it was someone's grandmother, great-grandmother, and ancestors that was out there in those fields, that had some kind of country land, or had to know how to garden, period, whether it was picking cotton or whether it was picking corn. But do not put yourself on a high horse to feel like you're too good to put your hands in the dirt. Because that type of thinking is going to hurt your family, your offsprings, and it's going to be a terrible situation when you cannot provide. You have to know how to provide for your family. Single women, married women, couples, however you want to look at it. Single men, men especially. I'm so happy to see a lot of men getting back into the garden, because a lot of men today is not about getting dirty. They want to be just as clean as the women. The women don't have time to look pretty or fancy because the guys are trying to outdo them on being fancy. And it's not a race thing, it's everybody. You have more men worrying about their appearance than going out there, maybe picking up that shovel or that tool to make sure that their family is okay. And this is not all men, and it's not all women, but it's enough to cripple your community, the society that we're living in. We're not teaching, I'm not going to say we, some of us or some people are not teaching their kids how to get out there and work that land, even if it's their backyard. Everybody's not fortunate to have a lot of land. Not saying that you can't have land, but you have to teach your kids some other skill other than getting on those games. I mean, coming from a person in education, the school system is hurting with your kids. Your kids are not up to par. They know more about TikTok, YouTube, Minecraft, Fortnite, whatever all that stuff is. They know more about that and how to maneuver that computer for things of entertainment than how to go to the nearest help page for school. They don't know what it means to come in and pick up a book or do chores. And that's what today's parents did. Not yesterday's, but today's parents. Some kind of way, parents today got lost as if this was going to be their norm. But number one, that pandemic already showed you something different. And it's still going on. And yet teachers are being asked to do more for someone else's child when the parent refuses to even pick up a book to read to their kid 20 minutes a day. Or ask them, hi, how your day was. What did you learn from school? What can I help you with? Or even just return that call from their teacher just to see. You're afraid to tell them to clean their room. You just do it. You're not teaching them no kind of values, no type of morals or ethics or responsibility. But these type of events, weather events that we've had or been having the last couple of years, we have to do better. We have to do better, or the kids that you're raising won't know how to maneuver if you're no longer around. And I hear some parents, not all parents, some parents saying, well, what do you do when the parent don't understand or don't know? That parent have to ask those questions. At least ask questions. Ask, hey, privately, I'm not really good at this myself. So what can I do to help my child and help myself help him? It's a lot of variables that's going on right now that we're so blinded by the flashy things. Everybody wants a lavish life, but they don't want to know how to read and write. Everybody wants the best house, but don't want to work. I've known people that hadn't worked a day in their life, or not even a year of their lifetime, 30 plus. and live better than I do, and I go to work every day. And it's sad because you wonder why your women are so beat down, because some of the men just gave up. They gave up. It ain't that the women gave up on them, they gave up. So they just don't care. So they're not going to pick that hammer up to help you. They're not going to go and even open a door for you. And I know I'm rambling about a lot of different things, but you know, these are facts, guys. These are facts. We have to do better and be better prepared as best as we can in order to prevent as many casualties as we can, um, within our community, within our city, within our state. Sometimes you have to do certain things just to help yourself. Um, I'm not saying um, ignore your neighbor. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you cannot rely just on the officials, the government, to do the stuff that you should be already trying to do yourself. Yes, they have a role that they have to play because we, the people, elected them to do that. But in the meantime, what are you going to do? Just not do anything? You have to do something. So, and it starts with learning how to provide for your family. Learning how to make sure that your family is okay when we have things like this going on. Now, mind you, I'm in my little mobile home, and I pray when bad weather come through, Lord, just don't take my little mobile home now. But in the case that we have to get out of here, I want to make sure that we have some necessities that can help us until we can come back to our place of living, or help us to survive until we can find that next place of living. So this video is kind of long. I might divide it up in a couple of sections because I do know it's long. But those are some words that was just on my heart that I felt like needed to be said, and someone needs to hear it until, you know, things get better, until we can actually be a more sustainable than what we are. Then we have to keep on working at it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the little garden tour. You can hear the ice melting. And I do hope everyone is still safe. I'm going to see if I can turn around and show you the birds. On that note, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can always know when Love Lady Garden Projects and More is putting out a new video. Be blessed.